Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again, and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video, I am doing a little TJ Maxx Marshalls haul. So these are polishes that I found over the last couple of months from those two locations. This is all one boxed set that I know a lot of people were finding at their TJ Maxx's and Marshalls and maybe even like Ross. I could be mistaken on that. And they were $7.99 for the boxed set. The one that I happened to find was marked down to just $6, so I was really happy about that. They only had the one variation of this, so they did have two boxes, but they were both exactly the same. So I only got the one, and the only other time that I saw the box, it was in a variation that I just wasn't as drawn to. So this is the only Color Club variety pack that I've got, but I do have some OPI, a couple of NCLAs, and then an Essie Expressi and a Pacifica. I do have them all swatched on a little nail wheel, so let's dig right in. This first color from Color Club is called Rocky Mountain High. I will say that if you were to buy these boxed sets, speaking of names, a lot of people that were posting on the mainstream group on Facebook were saying that when they bought these, some of theirs didn't have bottom labels like at all. So I was lucky enough to get a set with the bottom labels, which I'm very happy for because I really don't like it when I don't know what a polish is named. It's just sort of a pet peeve of mine. But this one was Rocky Mountain High. This one in the bottle looks kind of difficult to describe. It looks like a deep maroon, maybe an ox blood, but then it does have a lot of white in here. As you can see, it is slightly separated here in the bottle, but on this side it definitely looks like that ox blood color. Here's how it swatches. This is just one coat. One coat. A lot of these are just one coaters. Now, I don't know if that's because they've thickened or if that's just the original formulation, but they were opaque for me in one coat, which I thought was really impressive. On my nails, I would almost say oxblood doesn't quite describe this. It's got a little bit more brown in it, I guess. What this reminds me of is a Jelly Belly, like specifically a Jelly Belly that might be, I think it might be like the chocolate pudding one. So there's some brown in it, but there's a little bit of red in it, if that makes any sense. So I thought that was a really pretty color. I do think it's a little bit unique to my collection, maybe not like starkly so, but I don't think I have one that's quite in this exact tone of this color. Hopefully on your computer screen or whatever screen you're watching it on, it's not as dark as it's coming across on my phone screen at this moment, because on my phone, it just basically looks like a black nail polish, but it's definitely got color. So I'm really happy to be able to add that to my collection. I will have to come back and do some comparisons of that one with some of the other burgundy oxblood tones that I have, but that one was Rocky Mountain High. The next one is a red glitter polish. This one is called Ruby Slippers, and I know I've got Ruby Slippers from China Glaze, but I don't believe I have this one. I don't think I had any of these colors. So this one does really remind me of the Ruby Slippers from China Glaze. Obviously, they're going to have a very similar inspiration. The Ruby Slippers, I'm guessing anyways, from Wizard of Oz. So they have a beautiful red jelly base loaded with these red glitters. And surprisingly enough, I said that this was a jelly base, but I don't think it really is. This was, again, just a one coat polish. I was really not expecting that for this polish. I figured that the base would be a lot more squishy than it is. Again, I don't know if that's going to be consistent across the board with this polish, but I was very impressed by it. And as you can see on the nail, you definitely get those beautiful red twinkling glitters. And there's also like a very micro glitter, even smaller than the red glitters, in a very light gold that also shows up on the nail, which I don't really think I saw in the bottle so much. But I thought that was a really cool touch and a pretty unique polish, again, with that little bit of gold in it. So that was Ruby Slippers. The next polish is a really beautiful sort of an eggplant purple. This one is called Twice Bitten, and this one is definitely right up my alley. It dries darker on the nail that I'm seeing in the bottle, at least in person. Again, on camera with these colors, a lot of them are coming across very dark, but this one is it in just one coat. It's a really beautiful deep purple, a little bit berry toned, but not Not quite so berry tone that it leans towards the pink side of things. It is definitely firmly in the purple family. Nice and vampy for fall. So that one was called Twice Bitten. The next one is also a favorite, and this one is called Nail Robbie or Nail Robbie. And this one is sort of like a deep indigo. It is a really gorgeous color. This is, again, just one coat. This is one of those really cool colors that sort of blurs the line between a blue and a purple. It is really beautiful. As you can see, compared to Twice Bitten, it definitely has a lot more blue in it. But if you were to compare it to a blue, it's going to have a bit of a deepened purple tone to it. So I love colors like that. Indigo and periwinkle and cornflower blue, any of those in-between colors are my favorite color family. So that one is a really nice one to add to my collection. Again, I will have to come back and do some color comparisons of this later on to a couple that I have that I'm thinking of that are similar in tone to this deep indigo. But it is a color I really enjoy, so I'm happy to have that one. Again, that one was Nail Robbie. The next one is Love 'em and Leave 'em. And this one is sort of like a Marsala red, and I really like this one. It is a beautiful fall toned red. Here it is in just one coat. And this is definitely a red that is right up my alley. I love the tones to this one. It's got that pinch of like an orangey brown to it. So when you compare it to a red, it doesn't have as much pink in it. It's really gorgeous, and another one that I'm very happy to add to my collection. I will definitely be getting use out of this one. It is surprisingly a favorite amongst this box. So that one was Love 'em and Leave 'em. The next one is like a deep mauvey berry color. This one is called Ghosted, and this is another really beautiful shade. I've been picking up colors like this from, let's see, Ella and Milla. I believe I have some from Zoya. It's a really beautiful shade. This is it in just one coat. All of these, by the way, except for this one here, which was Ruby Slippers, are just cream formulas, and this last one here is a glitter formula. So most of these were creams, but this one is a really beautiful shade. I love tones like this. It's another perfect fall tone. Not quite a berry, not quite a jewel toned. It's just this, is berry Marsala a thing? Because that's sort of what I see this as. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like a mauvey berry Marsala, if that's even a thing. But in any case, that was Ghosted, and another one that I'm really happy to add to my collection. The last one from the Color Club box is this one called Clay the Day, and I'm not really sure about the name because nothing about this screams clay, so I'm not sure if maybe that's just, maybe it's Glay the Day? I don't know. I will say the labels on this aren't the best. That could be a G, it could be a C, it could be an, I don't know. So they are sort of hard to read, but in any case, this is a really pretty color. This was the sheerest of them all. I did do this one in 2 coats. This one also dries to a like matte finish with those glitters, adding a bit of texture to it. It is really pretty though, and I really like the types of glitter that are in here. You've got at least a couple of different kinds. There's a really beautiful pink flash from some of the glitters, and the rest of them complement it quite nicely. So it's a pretty cool color. This one is definitely in that berry family, and I really like this one. We'll have to see when I want to wear it because it isn't the brightest color for like summer. It could fit nicely as a topper for spring maybe, but we'll see. In any case, that was, I think, Clay the Day. Next up, we're moving into some of the miscellaneous random polishes that I found at TJ Maxx. This first one was $3.99 and it was for the NCLA in the color We're Off to Neverland. This is one of those colors that you see me haul quite a lot. It is a dusty gray purple. I love these colors, so you'll see me haul them quite a lot. I eventually do need to come back and do a comparison to all of the different shades that I have in this family and make sure that I haven't duped myself, because I'm sure I have. But this one I thought was a really beautiful tone. I really like this color. I mean, obviously I buy it a lot, but this one is a really beautiful light shade. This one was also a one coater. Really gorgeous tone. I really like this medium shade of this color family. And the fact that this is a one coater is really impressive. I don't remember what the brushes were. Let's take a look at those. They aren't super thin, but they aren't super thick. They're sort of like a flat medium brush. So it was easy to work with. And again, for $3.99, I kind of had a hard time saying no to this one because, like I said, it's one of my favorite colors. So that was NCLA's. We're off to Neverland. Then I found a couple of OPIs. These were $4.99 each. This one was Susie and the Arctic Fox. This had been on my radar for quite some time. It is basically the big sister of We're Off to Neverland in that same dusty gray purple tone, obviously a lot more purple and a lot darker, but I put these in the same color category, if you will. This is it in 2 coats. I think normally this one might be a 1 coater, but I did come back with a 2nd coat just because there was a little bit of patchiness going on. This one is definitely in one of the darkest in this color family. It is definitely leaning on the charcoal side of things, but it's a really pretty color. And like I said, this one had been on my wish list for quite a while, so I was happy to find that one at TJ Maxx. So that again was Susie and the Arctic Fox. This next one was also on my wish list for quite a while. That one was Less is Norse. This is sort of a dusty, like denim gray, and it's pretty dark on the nail. This is it in just 1 coat, but it's a gorgeous color, sort of blurs the line between a gray and a blue. Again, I love colors that do that, so this one should be a really beautiful color for fall. And again, that one was Less is Norse. Now we're moving on to the polishes that I got at Marshall's. This one was $3.99 and it was from the Essie Expressi line. This one is called Desk Manny, and I might actually be adding this to my spring rack. I have been going through my rack again after watching the other collaborators from the spring nail polish rack videos and adding a couple that I either somehow missed or hadn't thought of. And this is one that I might add. I think it's a really beautiful tone. It sort of fits into that light pale orange that I was wanting to find for my spring rack. So I'm happy to have this one. And this is it again in just 1 coat. I was really impressed with the formulation on this one. Really gorgeous tone. It is somewhat of a dusty apricot is maybe how I would describe this. And that's maybe without the dusty part. The apricot description might be pretty much what I was looking for my oranges for spring. And I didn't really have any that quite fell into that category. So that one is a good one. I'm really happy to have found that one, especially for just $3.99 because these Essie Expressis are a lot more at the drugstores. So that one was Desk Manny. The next one is from Pacifica. This one is part of their newer Bio Glitter line, and this one was again $3.99. And I thought that this one was just so fun. Very unique for a non-indie brand. You've got a variety of glitters as well as shimmers. In fact, on camera, that shimmer is just punching really, really strong. In person, it's a softer pink, but really, really fun. I love the glitter mix in here. This is it in 2 coats. This one could possibly use a 3rd coat on some nail lengths, but I thought it was a really beautiful oceany green color, sort of like a soft jade green. This sort of leans a bit on the teal side. So that one was, oh, I didn't even say the name. I got too blown away by the glitter. This one was called Alien. And then lastly in my haul from Marshall's is another NCLA. This one was also $3.99 and this one is called Let Them Eat Cake. This is another one that is probably going to make an appearance on my spring rack. This just screams spring to me. It is a very soft lilac shade, full of glitter. You've got everything from silver to different shades of purple, even some fuchsia in there. It's really fun, very unique to my collection, and while I do have some Corellis on my spring rack, I don't have anything like this one yet. This is it in 2 coats. I mean, just look at that. That is such a beautiful spring color. This one also could use a 3rd coat on some nail lengths. There was slight bits of, I wouldn't quite call it patchiness, but just where the color is not quite as deep. I think I might try wearing this maybe as a, not quite a topper, but basically putting this over an opaque color all on its own. Maybe this one from Orly, and using this as the opaque undie and then this to add the glitter, just to give it a bit more of a punch color, because in the bottle it seems like it's a bit darker, deeper. Maybe that's just me. than it is on the nail. So I want it to be a slightly punchier, if that makes any sense. It's still a beautiful pastel, but I might try that with that Province at Dusk from Orly. So that was NCLA's Let Them Eat Cake. So there you have it. That was our little haul from Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Let me know down below if you were able to find any of these little boxes from Color Club. This is definitely a really affordable way of getting a whole lot of color clubs. I think the usual price of these was $7.99 underneath that $6 sticker. And even at that price point, that is really, really good for these polishes. So I was really happy to find them. Hopefully some of you have been able to find them as well. Make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in that next video.